played a very good team today that, down the stretch really made every play, and got to give them credit. I thought for 34 minutes we executed well defensively and offensively, and unfortunately just down the stretch weren't able to take care of the basketball. I think those 3 or 4 possessions in a row where we had the turnovers were obviously backbreakers, especially in the last 2 rounds of the game, the last 8 minutes. Led to easy baskets for them on the other end, transition baskets. And then, we got stretched a little bit, and they took advantage of that with their execution on the offensive end. So disappointed in the way that thing ended in those last 7 minutes. And in the first 33, we did a lot of good things. You have to play extremely well for 40 minutes and with great kind of grit and toughness against that team, and we just weren't able to finish it. So that was disappointing, and we just had to regroup and get ready for Wednesday.
Do you think the guys just started pressing once you fell behind a little bit in that stretch when ball rims out a couple times, miss a couple free throws, and then the pressure's on, he can't miss and that kind of thing? Do you think that's what happened?
No.
What do you think happened?
We were 3 of 13 from the free throw line, so we didn't make any free throws the whole game. We didn't take care of the basketball. There was 2 or 3 turnovers there that we didn't even get shots up. So we just weren't strong enough and tough enough on the offensive end in those last 8 minutes. We did a great job against their trap. It actually created a lot of good offensive stuff for us, and unfortunately, the one turnover was in the at the end of the game, or in the last it's 5 minutes ago in the game. Again, I thought Daniel played well. I thought Cam did a lot of good things for us as well. You can't give up 13 offensive rebounds to Virginia. They're too efficient on offense. And if you give them those second opportunities, you put yourself in a big problem. They had 11 second chance points, and then 11 fast break points. So 1/3 of their points came off of really our turnovers and us not getting the defensive rebound. And when you play a team that's ranked in the top 20 in the country and 10-1 in the league, with guys like Joe Harris, you would think, on the defensive effort, you hold Joe Harris to 3 of 8 and you hold Brogdon to 3 of 12, you got a pretty good chance. Toby's 1 of 6. The problem is, the 13 offensive rebounds, and Harris is tough enough to make that big 3 where, he hadn't hit a shot all half, because I think he hit 2 shots in the first half. That was the only shot he hit in the entire second half, and that's why he's a great player.
Brian, when you see a rebounding disparity that big, not just on the offensive glass, but 46-25 overall, how much of that's physical versus mindset? Going hard enough or not going hard enough at the glass?
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to watch us play and not say we're playing hard.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of both. It's the mindset, not in terms of the toughness or in terms of the effort, but in terms of going back and scrapping and getting in there. There are times where you look at our perimeter players, they didn't rebound well enough for us tonight. That's just a fact. We need those guys rebounding. Daniel got 7 defensive rebounds. Cam got 3. Trey played 18 minutes, and obviously he's not at full speed. He's healthy, but not at full speed. He got 2. We have some other guys who played a lot of minutes, didn't get any. And we need those guys on the glass. We are, especially until Robert gets back into shape and is able to really play effectively, we have to gang rebound. We have to team rebound. And that means our 1s, our 2s, and our 3s have to do a great job on the glass. You take a look at, for them, like Brogdon had 9 defensive rebounds. So, those are London, their point guard had 3. So that's 12 right there between their 1 and their 2. And if you added up our 1 and 2, we wouldn't come up with 5. and the guards have to, they have to be engaged.
Brian, you got the minutes from Rob and from Trey, but it seemed pretty obvious that, especially Trey, he couldn't do some of the things that he normally does offensively out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do is get back to the rehab over the next couple days, and hopefully it was good that he was able to get out there. He felt fine, but he's obviously not at the explosiveness that he had before, and so now it's back to the rest and the rehab, and we'll see if he takes a step in the next couple days. So he's got a little bit more on Wednesday, and then you have a week off until you play again.
With Rob, what was your plan, and just how did he look to you?
I thought it, a little rusty, but 16 minutes. We thought somewhere between 12 and 17 minutes probably is what we thought. He out of rhythm a little bit at times on offense. He held the ball a little too long. You can't hold the ball against Virginia because now their defense shifts and loads that ball side, and you got to keep that ball moving against them and then attack them. But overall, I thought getting him back out there, it's going to probably be a couple weeks before I think he's back playing at the level that he can play at.
Coach, Jay is one of the top 10 defenses in the country. What do they do that makes them so effective on defense?
Well, I mean, obviously there's a commitment there. There's a they have some veterans that really know what they're doing in that. They have good size. And I think they hang their hat on that, and they know that eventually, if they keep getting defensive stops, that they're going to make enough baskets. And that's the one thing that's a little different with their team this year. They're much more offensively explosive. Last year, very similar game except reversed. I think we went on a 20-4 run to end the game or something like that. And they don't go through those long periods where they struggle to score. So that helps their defense some, because they're almost better defensively because there's not as much pressure on their defense.
At 15:05, I don't remember, Daniel scored the possession before you called timeout.
Say that again now.
15:05, you called the timeout. Daniel scored the possession before you got the rebound and you called timeout. I was curious, did you have what was the message, if you remember, you were trying to give the team?
At 15:05 in the second half,
37, 36.
we would probably just tell you, Daniel was tired. And, trying to use some of those with the shorter bench and guys, and the injuries and so forth, just trying to keep some guys fresh. And that was probably that reason.
Two more questions.
Last 5 games, Marcus had gotten to the free throw line 10, 5, and 9, but today he only got the free throw line twice. Did you feel like he wasn't aggressive enough, or was it just like they were playing really good defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think Marcus knows we need him to play better and to be more aggressive, and at times he's a little tentative. But you have to when you aggressively drive to the basket, you need to drive to score as opposed to try to draw a foul. So, and then when you get to the free throw line, you got to put him in, because that's the one thing. Like I said, we haven't been able to do. Make a free throw. If they're on a 3-0 or 4-0 or 5-0 run, you get fouled. You go to the free throw line, you knock 2 down. It kind of stops that run. Or if you're up 1 or 2 or 3 points and you get fouled, you go to the line. Now you're up 4 or 5, and we have not been able to finish those plays at the free throw line.
I imagine as much as anything was frustrating part of this than the 3 for.
Yeah, that's frustrating, and the rebounds are frustrating. Those for me are the 2 most frustrating, because when you struggle to score offensively and you get to the free throw line 10 times, you gotta have something to show for it, and unfortunately we didn't.
In the first 30 minutes in the last it's tied, pretty much a tie game with 9 and change to go, and they close with a 22-1 run.
Seems like we got careless with the ball. We had a lot of turnovers in a row. I think we had like 4 turnovers in a row. And I think that's, what started the run and got them going and led to easy baskets, us not getting back in transition.
They did a really good job, trapping you off the ball whenever you got in the post, and doubling down and kind of forcing you to make tough passes and tough shots. Kind of, was that your assessment of how working?
We knew they were going to do that all week. That's what they do, and it kind of helped us get easy buckets and wide open shots. But a couple times we weren't ready for it. They called it off for a little while, and then I had the turnover that kind of led their big run on us. So.
As a team, you've been shooting foul shots pretty well all year. What happens when you have a night like today at the foul line?
They play really good defense. So those, when we do get a chance to score, we need to score because we're not going to have that opportunity again. So gotta knock those down.
Is there a different kind of pressure on you guys when your roster is spread as thin as it's been? I mean, coaches made no secret of the fact that your margin for error is tiny, obviously. You get 2 players back, but they're limited in minutes in Trey and Robert tonight, and they're rusty and all that stuff. So there's all this pressure to play at a high level, and you're playing a team that executes so well on both ends for so long that as soon as there's a little crack and they get a little lead, it looks like the door's blown open. And psychologically, is there a bigger effect when you guys know you don't have much margin for error and a team gets up on you like that? 'Cause
Well,
it looked like 2 different games. The first 30 minutes and the last 10 just looked like 2 totally different games.
You try not to make mistakes at all, but no one's perfect. But like you said, coaches does ask more of us since due to the injuries, there's a lot more on us to do things, and like you said, it's more the fact. Well, I think I try not to make as many mistakes at all. Try to take care of the ball. Try not to turn it over. And then when it comes to offense, I try to knock down as many open shots as I can, but they weren't falling today. I was 3 for 9, so I had to find something else to do or try to find something else to do.
You guys did a good job on Brogdon and Harris. I think they were 6 for 20 combined, but it seemed like some of the other guys really picked up the slack for that.
That's where their rebounds, their offensive rebounds, kind of killed us. Did a good job guarding them. The guards did a good job, and then a lot of times they would be scoring or get the offensive rebound after like a drive. So it was like rebound right around the rim, easy putback, and like Coach was saying, they're really good offensively this year. So giving them that second chance just really killed us.
Is it a little unusual when you bring, Rob back in and Trey? Neither one of them are, themselves. Trey was obviously pretty hobbled, and Robert, was very rusty for probably about the first 12 minutes he was out there. Is it a little weird to throw those guys back into the mix with the flow that you guys have been playing with the last couple games?
That we've been working them into practice, and Trey hasn't been gone for too long, so he hasn't been absent. But they're good players and they know how to play the game, and getting them back in there with us, it'll help us. Got to get them back somehow. Can't just start them one game. So working them back in there helps.
Going back to the rebounds, did you feel like you were outnumbered on the boards? It seemed like they were crashing pretty hard, and it makes it difficult to rebound.
I thought their guards did a good job of rebounding, and then their offense moves well, and the bigs would sometimes get pushed up under the basket, so that they had a lot of room to rebound, and that's just that's what they're good at, and they stick to it.
Anybody else? Daniel, I think in it must be frustrating. You guys are it's like you said, I think the other day, it seems like you guys are close, but you're not probably getting the results that you feel like you deserve, or it should show from the progress you're making.
It's really tough. Tie game, and we're thinking it's going to go into the last 2 rounds of battle, and then a couple turnovers, just a little mental lapse, and they take over, and the game's over already. So, if we had 8 more minutes left in us of mental toughness and just being tough, playing as a team, it could have been a whole different story.